Warning, the following is intended for immature adult audiences. Please do not attempt any of the stunts or activities mentioned in this podcast, future podcast, or previous podcast. Testicle torture, viewer and listener discretion is advised. What's up, Beer League hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another unedited, unfiltered, worldwide dump and skate podcast, the #1 hockey podcast in Bluffton, Hilton Head area, the Pooler, Georgia area, Aurora, Oswego, and Naperville, Illinois area, and the countries of Israel, Canada, and Colombia. Shout out to my military droney homie with the barbaric Louisville slugger compared to my little bugger. You may know him as Corey, but his stage name is Tripod. We are the Hockey Dynamic Dumpers. I'm the podcast scheduler, social media content creator, official video and audio editor, the broken, old, and decrepit bender, the ball buster, the one that benders know and run their mouths to, but I don't even know who the fuck you are. I am the admin's bitch and the sounding board, Jeremy. I might be a handful and a lot to handle, but my wiener isn't Abdoo. With me as always.
You're gonna be pissed when this catches up. You just started lagging.
Where did I lag? Fucking shit.
Right when you started talking about me.
All right, I'll start over. With me as always, the man that makes this podcast possible, the only producer that doesn't do any editing because he's too busy to fix Abdoo's blind squirrel moments, the talent of the podcast but not on the ice, the guy that won't hesitate to help out family or friends in need, the friend and brother that will always have your back on and off the ice, the team dad, Jeremy. The conquistador is generous to my backdoor Holland. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my freaking. It's gonna piss me off. This podcast.
These intros have gone to passively homosexual to just full on. This is that has nothing.
This
to do.
Is why
it's a sandwich. It's a sandwich that loosens the bowels. That's all it is. It sounds.
This is why one of our guests that we have wonders. Or he always says, and you wonder why people think you're a homo.
Jeez,
this is one of the
grief. I wasn't even expecting.
So it's the conquistador sandwich from Zunzi's.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't even expecting that intro.
Well, but you were eating the salmon wrap.
100%.
That was just giving you some serious hurry ups.
Yeah,
and the conquistador is good for your back door.
Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome in once again to your favorite Beer League podcast, the Dump and Skate podcast. We are super excited about today's podcast. Got one guest that's been a long time. We've been trying to get him to come on. We're excited he's finally given in and jumped on, and I'm pretty sure that's a big part because of another guest on here that I am not nearly as familiar with as Abdoo is, but I'm super excited to have on. Definitely one of the more higher profile guys we've had on. Should have some really, really good stories. I'm excited to hear about his hockey background, his hockey history. You know, you guys that listen, you know what we talk about. It's a lot of stupid things, but also we love hearing guys and girls' hockey journeys, the things they've done to get to where they're at, and everything in between. So we're really excited to be able to share that with you guys today, along with Abdoo's jacked up Wi-Fi connection that is probably going to cause him to lock out and freeze constantly today. So we'll watch his reactions, which will be quite hilarious. So before we go any farther, we want to give a special shout out to the guys and girls that be in our sports. They hook us up and help us out with all sorts of stuff here in our local league, equipment, jerseys, everything. If you need it for hockey, give those guys a call, brsport.com. Look them up there as well. If you get them on the phone, tell them Abdoo said, hey, what's happening? How you doing? and then tell them I know Holland as well. So say it just like that, though, and they'll really know that you actually know Abdoo exceptionally well. So, buddy, I don't want to delay much longer.
Yeah, I don't
you're
either.
Really excited, so I'll let you get right into any intros you've got.
Speaking of B&R Sports, we owe John Merola a huge thanks for this guest. Our guest is an awesome one. Shout out to Merola for making this guest happen. I started looking up his bio and for his intro, and holy shit, it is like a long one. It's like a long, just a whole Google page dedicated to this guy.
Beautiful.
It would be like if I went through all of his stuff, it would be like you talking about the college football in our last podcast with my nephew, like just 2 hours straight of you talking. So I'm going to sum it up as best as I can. He was named the ECHL MVP for the 2023-24 season, as well as being named the captain for the ECHL All-Star team here in Savannah, where I actually had the honors of helping Merola and B&R Sports in his skate wraps. Our guest led the ECHL in goals with 40 and in points with 93, power play points 34, and shots 346, while being tied for the league lead in power play goals with 15. This season, he was selected as the 2025 ECHL Western Conference All-Star Team, where he is the second ever Toledo Walleye player to be back-to-back selections. He has set a Toledo Walleye franchise with the most goals in a season and most shots in a season. Currently, he has 49 points, which is 20 goals, 29 assists, with penalty minutes, 20 penalty minutes, and skating at a +3 in 39 games. He is the seventh. This is his seventh season as a professional, totaling 366 points, 176 goals, 190 assists, 258 PIMs, and a +32 in over 339 pro games. He also plays in the 3-Ice League with Team Leclerc, where he was labeled as the league's most exciting player, winning the Sports Center #1 play of the day with his hat trick shot goal in Week 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to introduce to you the 2023 ECHL MVP, number 16 on the Toledo Walleye, Brandon Hawkins.
What's up, fellas? That's a
How you
hell
doing,
of an intro.
I was getting cotton mouth. So
Now, so for the record, because I don't know when you did the statistics research, I have 55 points. I'm definitely more than +3. I don't know what else, but yeah, we go with that for now.
okay. Before we get started,
Wait. Abdoo, tell your beer league stats. You want to do those?
I need
You don't want to
right-
do those. You don't want to do those.
So right now I am currently a -48 in 2 games.
You're the leader of the clubhouse.
Well, we're one
my
game in.
shots on goal. I lead the league in shots on hitting the glass behind the net.
I'm gonna get you a green jacket for your minuses.
And but I lead the league in chirps for sure, and Holland can attest to that.
100%. Which is ironic because when we first brought this up like 6 to 8 months ago, he was like, "I don't do any of that," and I said, "Are you freaking serious? Are you delusional?"
We should just start calling you Fred Flintstone.
Oh, I get that a lot. My last name, I got
Yabba
called,
Dabba Doo.
I get called Yabba Dabba. I get called Crap Do. I get called all.
He's gotten
But
called
before
some
we-
odd ones here lately.
What was an odd one?
Adobo.
Yeah.
Some people down here have
Flash.
yes. Some people down here have a hard time with the last name. I had one guy send me a message, was like, "Can you get me Abdoo's name?" And I said, "I don't even know who that is, but yeah, I'll get you Abdoo's number, no problem." We were out at a bar with a buddy celebrating. Whose birthday was it?
Mine and
It
Sprint's.
was yours and Sprint's. That's right. It was yours and
You
Sprint's.
guys ever watch That's My Boy
No.
No.
with Adam Sandler?
Oh yeah.
There's the Shaman Shabadoo or Shakalaka.
Oh, great. Here we go. Before we get too deep into the podcast, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you pee in the shower?
Fuck yes, I do.
So I am the one and only that does not pee in the shower.
Yeah, I'm a
Well,
little
you
worried
said
about you.
you said there is somebody else that said they don't pee in the shower too, right? Didn't you tell me there was one person that you talked to that was like, no, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, Sprents. Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, that makes more sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
So
Prince is a buddy of ours. He's really, really new to hockey.
he's a big fan of yours too. He saw you in the All-Star game last year, and he was
Okay.
just he's a big fan of yours. So welcome to the
I appreciate
podcast, my
that.
guy. Yeah, I appreciate you on here. So
Not a problem. It's fun because I know Johnny and I know you guys take care of him, but I've known him for years. So anybody a friend of his is a friend of mine.
So I was
I
asking Abdoo
appreciate it.
earlier today, and he said he was really appreciative of John hooking us up, encouraging you to give us a call and chat with us a little bit. How do you know John, or how did
John
you
and I
meet
grew
and
up
get to know
together.
John? Oh, did you?
Yeah,
from
we're
the
both
Michigan
same
area, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, from the same area.
So where did you go right and he go wrong?
He played high school hockey. I played travel.
Really, is that the big
Yeah,
difference?
yeah. Usually, you go to play high school hockey around there. It's usually where your career goes to die.
Really, we've got a couple guys that came from Michigan area, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, we got a couple guys that play in our local league that played from the Michigan area, but that like
Yeah.
their elite prospects just says high school hockey. But I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, that's really deceptive. We've had a couple guys come in that are like, hey, yeah, I played. We got a goalie that just rolled in here that says, oh yeah, I played a little bit of high school hockey. I went to college. I quit playing. He was like, but I did some prospect stuff. He was like, I played with some guys that played in the A, played in the NHL, played with some coaches that did this, that, and the other. And he rolls out on the ice in one of our like mid levels, and I got a phone call, and they were like, hey, who's the NHL prospect kid you just put on the ice in our mid league? Like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? And come to find out, the kid's kind of a freak. So, and I couldn't find any info on him anywhere other than what he kind of
Yeah.
very humbly said. So, yeah,
Well,
some of those
John,
profiles can be deceptive.
the way John's high school played, that's like that kind of high school is where your career goes to die. There's some different areas in Michigan that it's pretty good. Like if you play for Central Catholic or Trenton or Brother Rice, there's a few guys in the NHL that play for Brother Rice. It just depends on where you go, I guess. But a lot of guys that are like, oh, I think I'm just gonna play high school. That's usually the end.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, congrats on the wins this weekend. I was following
you,
up on
thank you.
that. You're a pretty big deal in the ECHL and on the Toledo Walleye, then, huh?
I have my fun. You know
That's a
what?
humble brag. That's a humble
I get to
brag
put
right there.
I get to put my skates on for a living, so I'll never complain about it.
So
Awesome.
how'd you tell us a little bit about how you got to where you got to? Abdoo read the scroll that was your background. You give us the more concise version that's probably a little cleaner to listen to.
So actually my dad ran a roller hockey rink growing up. I grew up playing roller hockey. That's kind of how I got into everything. And then transferring to ice hockey around 4 or 5 years old. And I didn't like it anywhere near as much as I liked roller hockey. But I took to it. And you know what? I played for fun and everything like that. And I really honestly didn't get to be any good at ice hockey until I was like 16, 17 years old. And then I went and played junior. I played in the North American Hockey League, played in the USHL for a year, North American League first, then the USHL. Committed to Bowling Green State University, played there for 2 years, transferred, played at Northeastern for 2 years, who they're playing in the Bean Pot tonight. Um, and the rest was history. And then I got my opportunity to go play pro, and that's kind of been a crazy whirlwind for me because a small town kid that grew up playing roller hockey never thought he was going to play pro anything, and here we are.
Yeah, so I'm from the Savannah area, like born and
Mhm.
raised, and so all I ever had was roller. We didn't have an
Yeah.
ice rink when I was growing up, and so Abdoo regularly reminds me that roller hockey is not real hockey.
It is not hockey.
Well, that's because Abdoo can't play roller hockey.
That's probably a factual
I
statement.
can't even play regular hockey. What are you talking about?
If we put Abdoo on rollerblades, it'd be our own Make-A-Wish kid.
I mean, it's kind of that way on ice skates too, but I just but I had guys. So the highest level I ever played was some collegiate club, and I had guys even in the collegiate club, especially a lot of guys that were from up north and not from. I mean, the Atlanta area and stuff had some ice rinks and all. So there's some guys that played. But we
Yeah.
had a couple guys from Boston. I think we had a couple guys from Michigan too, and they looked at me and called me the cheese hockey guy. And I was like, I don't even know what that means, but apparently it was some sort of a reference to being a roller hockey guy. So, but I knew a handful of guys that had done both growing up
Mhm.
in the South. I've got a good friend that lives in our neighborhood that played same thing, some club level hockey, but he played
Mhm.
up in the Everblades program in their junior
Yeah.
program, and played on their ice and on their roller programs. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not what it used to be. And so it's nice to hear guys that have been able to come from, I guess, humble beginnings to some pretty big places now.
Well, a big thing for me too is it's a little bit more accessible for families that don't have a lot of money. Roller
Absolutely.
hockey's not as
Yeah.
expensive, and I think, I mean, obviously my dad ran the roller hockey rink, so I was safe there money wise. But for kids that are just wanting to get into the sport, whether it be roller or ice hockey, just to get in and play, it's a perfect way to start.
Yeah. Yeah, the local ECHL team here is working on
Hmm.
building their own practice facility now, a nice two-sheet facility. And
Hmm.
one of the kind of rumors we had heard a while back, there is a small roller program here. So the one that I was a part of when I was younger died out.
Hmm.
Oh gosh, back in 2015, 16, somewhere in there. And there's been a small group of guys that have kind of kept it going, just having roller hockey around. Small
Yeah.
league here, maybe 8 to 10 teams. They play on outdoor rinks. So, it rains, you can't do anything and all. But they had been kind of lobbying for, and there was a little rumor swirling that they may be able to get a decent rink at this, at least close to the new facility. I
Hmm.
just found out recently that kind of isn't going to come through, and that but same thing you're saying. It's a really accessible for even adults. I mean,
Yeah.
with the ECHL team landing here, you got a lot more guys that are excited about hockey, that think it's really cool. I had a
Hmm.
62-year-old guy that joined our league this past year, played in our
Yeah.
40 and over division, and comes to me. He's like, I probably need to be down in the bottom bracket of like a C level division. He
Yeah.
said, because I've never played hockey in my life. I've enjoyed watching it. I want to get some gear and play. I'm like, dude,
Hmm.
you're 62 years old, and this is what you've decided to do now. Like, I'm going to
I
go
love it.
learn now. I mean, it's
I
great.
love it.
So yeah, it's nice when guys can afford to do it. But I agree with you. Roller
Hmm.
hockey is a really good, affordable alternative to get guys into the sport for sure, especially kids.
Yeah.
So
uh, Completely agree with you.
hey, I did a quick look up here, and so
Hmm.
obviously Abdoo and I both have the same first name, so we go by last names a lot. A lot of
Hmm.
guys in the hockey community run by last names,
Hmm.
but I did a quick nickname search, and you've got a nickname, or at least you have one. You admitted to having on the Walleyes. Did a little social media post, the
Hmm.
Mayor. So
Yeah.
what's the Mayor about? Can you tell us what the Mayor's
Um,
about?
so my first year playing here, I was playing with a guy by the name of TJ Hedsick, and we were just messing around one day, and we went out to the bars, and I knew like all the bar owners and the people that would come up and say hi and everything's like that. And he goes, dude, sooner or later you're gonna be the mayor. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm putting it on my jersey for nickname night. And then I got to be in a commercial with the actual mayor.
Oh, nice.
And I put my feet up on his desk and everything, and he was cool with it. I'm like, who knew I'd be able to get to this point just by a funny nickname randomly out of nowhere going out for a beer with one of the guys on the team.
That's funny. Some lofty political aspirations after the hockey career,
I mean, I'd get a vote or two, but there's no chance I'm doing it.
Are you guys on the ice practicing every day and then games on the weekend, or are you practicing every other day?
So for us, it really depends on like if we play 3 games in 3 days, like last weekend, we'll usually have Monday off, Tuesday optional, and if you're not skating, you don't have to go to the rink, and then you'll practice Wednesday, Thursday, play again Friday.
Okay. So then,
So
what's a typical like uh, practice day for you? Like a
mhm,
normal day for you when you go to on a practice day, and then what's a
yeah,
normal like game day routine for you?
so so practice day for me is I'm usually up at 7:15. I drop my son off at daycare at 7:45. I get to the rink for 8:10. Um, Sit there. I have my drink in the morning. Sit there and watch the NHL highlights in the equipment room, and then we have workout usually 9:15. Practice or video right after, and then practice usually starts at 11 with some pre-work stuff going on at 10:40, 10:50, whether it be power play or shooting on the goalies and such. Game day routine is we have morning skates usually at 10 in the morning. So I usually do the same thing, drop the little man off at daycare, and then morning skate, and I'm there same time, 8:15. Do morning skate, get out, and then usually I don't depends on what we have at home for if we got some good leftovers or something like that, what I have for my pregame, and then usually I get back to the rink for around 4:15, and then I'm there till game time.
All right. Are you a pretty superstitious kind of guy? Like, do you
I'm
have
not
certain routines that you
superstitious,
go
I'm
through?
just a little stitious.
Okay. Do you care to share of any what your stitiouses are?
You know what? If anything, I tape my stick the same way. That's what
Okay.
I'm really particular about my gear. That's really it.
All right. Um,
I'm a right left guy, so everything has to be dressed right left.
Yeah.
And so like the whole way, socks,
Mhm.
everything,
Yeah.
legging, pants, all of that stuff. If it's not, I'll back up, start over again. So yeah, but
You know
again,
what?
same as you said, a little stitious.
I guess I drink the same drink before every game, if
what's
that
the drink?
counts. It's a 200 milligrams of caffeine energy drink called Alani New.
All right.
It's I think the flavor is Cosmic Stardust or something. I drank the same one for 4+ years now, and I can't change
And
it.
look where yeah, I don't
Did
blame you.
something did something trigger it, or you just kind of realized you were doing it and we're like, this works, let's stick with it.
My sister left one in the fridge when I went home for a weekend, and I drove back for practice. Drove back for practice in Fort Wayne. This would have been 2021. I drove back for practice. I drove at like 5 in the morning to get there for 8 to be at the rink for 8 for practice, and I felt fantastic. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm using this in the game. So if anything, we could thank Molly, my sister, but crazy how that works out.
Is your little guy going to play? Is he? Does he go to the rink and watch you? And is he into
He
it?
goes to the rink, loves the games, loves the lights, the sounds. His eyes are this big when everything's watching. He's 5 months old right now. You know what, if he wants to play more than he can play. I don't that's I'll never stop him. I'll never push him to do it if he doesn't want to.
Right.
In all honesty, I'd love to put a golf club in his hand.
That's almost
That's a
worse than a
man.
hockey stick.
You know what? At a young age, my dad made me choose between the two.
Yeah.
He's like, look, you're either going to go all in on hockey or all in on golf. You can't do both. Um, just it was a money thing for us, and I was
Yeah.
a decent golfer growing up. Still 4 handicap now, and I play once a week when
Wow.
during the summertime. So
Yeah.
ask John, I kicked his ass. Um, but no, I'd love to see him skate. I'd love to see him golf. That's whatever he wants to do. I'll fully support,
Yeah. It's good dad stuff there.
as well as
Has
peeing in the shower.
that a boy? Which he probably has no problem doing right now. He doesn't even know where he's peeing.
No, no.
Oh man. That's cool. What's it been like? So obviously you've played for a few years without being a dad. Now you're doing it as a young dad. What's the difference like for you? Is there anything, do things get more exciting for you, or is it, more the same, or?
The things are more exciting. I think the biggest one is you really got to understand your time management and different things going on in your life, and really understand that when you get to the rink, the second you step on the ice, you have to block out everything. Understand what and who you're doing it for, but anything that's going on that you think could affect your game, you got to block it out. I mean, I don't really deal with much of that. My wife's awesome. Don, I'll tell you, she's a sweetheart. She deals with a lot, especially because she's breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So with doing that, she's up more in the night than I am. I mean, I change a diaper here or there, but she's a rock star, and I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do in professional hockey without her. She really is the best support system I could have, and honestly, I think that if Ro and I didn't have her, it wouldn't we wouldn't be very good.
Yeah. Yeah, a good
Good.
wife is a massively important thing. Abdoo's alluded a little bit. We've got a bunch of kids in our household and some dogs and a lot of the responsibilities we have. And I've got a pretty good wife that I have people on a regular basis are like, well, how do you do all that stuff? I'm like, well, I have a good wife that doesn't mind going and
Yeah.
picking up kids and keeping an eye on everybody. And so, yeah, she's definitely sounds like your wife's another
Oh,
really, really good one.
Yeah, she's a saint. I get to do what I do because she's a rock star. So,
Good
That's
support
phenomenal.
system
Yeah,
there. Huh?
absolutely.
uh, there's
So
nothing better than a good support system.
I have a question. We have like a lot
Uh,
of gear geeks that are
oh
just
yeah.
big on
Yep.
gear.
Yep. Warrior skates.
I wanted to know. A lot of people wanted to know how do you like them? And
I
what's the difference between what skates we're using beforehand?
so I can't really talk much on them because I signed an NDA,
Ah, understood.
but I love them personally.
Okay.
Um, they're I used to wear Bauer's the Supreme Series,
Okay.
Hmm.
and I've never been a pro stock. I've always worn just stock skates, stock 8 wide, and what I and they never treated me wrong in any way, but I feel like I've been a better skater and more supported in these ones than I have in any skate I've ever worn.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then are the same person that was asking about those.
Mhm,
He's a legit gear geek and a big fan of yours.
mhm.
He noticed that you have the Mars holders.
The Mars blades, yep.
Do you like those? And what's your feedback on them compared to other holders? Because I have the Mars
So,
Blade rollerblade
mhm,
chassis, and I
yep.
actually liked it. But again, roller hockey isn't hockey, so
I
I'm not a good
I
reference.
mean, the only people who say roller hockey isn't hockey are the guys who can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm telling you right now, I can't.
See there you go. So your argument's invalid. Um, so the Mars blades, the best way I can explain them is no matter what you're doing on the ice, you have full blade on the ice at all times. And
Okay.
I think that's big. It's really helpful in and out of turns, full striding, full starts. Doesn't matter where you are. You have full blade on the ice. So you have more contact, more speed, more control over everything that you do.
Holland, we need to get you like 5 pair for your skates.
I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference for me,
You
unfortunately.
quit falling.
Still,
Quit falling on
still a bad
breakaways.
hockey player.
Quit falling on breakaways.
Still a bad hockey player.
So
Oh,
would you
good.
get those on all of your skates in the
Yeah,
future now? Yeah.
yeah. I've worn them for four years now.
Oh,
Yep,
okay. Oh,
yep.
nice.
Yeah, they sent something out. I don't remember what it was, but I clicked on something one time and Mars Blade was running some sort of a promo thing where they'd let you
You buy
run
the
their
steel, you get the
stuff.
holder
Yeah, something like
for
that. And
free. Yeah.
so, yeah. And so I clicked on a couple links and then I thought they were going to email me something. So I may go back and look at it again because there's a couple guys we know that are big gear geeks
Hmm.
and they know all sorts of stuff about equipment and everything. And one of them
Hmm.
had mentioned about the Mars Blade. He didn't know a ton about it, but he
Hmm.
said that essentially its claim was exactly what you're describing, that you basically
Hmm.
had more contact with the ice. So everything was better. Your stride, your turns, your stops, everything was better because of more blade in contact with the ice for a longer period of time. So I'm kind of
Honestly,
interested.
honestly, email their website, tell them what you guys do with the podcast and everything you do in Savannah, and they might help out with throwing a couple sets your way to try them.
All right.
They're good people. They're awesome. They're easy to deal with. So
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Do you have a good relationship with your equipment manager? Like,
Oh yeah.
I heard that the Toledo Walleye have a really good equipment manager, and he really takes care of you guys. So, um,
Yeah, he's fantastic. He goes out of his way to help the guys out and he's been really good to me. I'll never it's the first lesson you learn in pro hockey or in any situation that you have an equipment manager is you always take care of that guy because he can make your life a living hell if he wants to.
all right, that's good.
Even our beer league equipment managers can make your life kind of rough. So
Yep.
yeah, not good.
What do you get your skate sharpened at?
Inch and a quarter.
Really?
Yep.
Don't even
Super
think
dull.
about it, Holland.
See,
Don't even
see,
think about it.
see. Now I don't look like an idiot, do I? Now I look like a G.
Super.
Well,
How
here's the
how
difference.
often are you? Obviously, you guys are putting a lot more wear and tear on your steel,
Mhm.
and so you probably got 20 sets of steel that your equipment manager's got his hands on. How often are you swapping steel?
Usually I go through maybe 2 to 3 sets a year.
All right, let me rephrase that. Like how often are you running on a brand new cut on it is what I mean. So like
Oh,
if you
like a
run it,
new sharpening?
yeah.
Yeah.
Usually before every game.
Okay. So
Yep.
you'll run a full if you got a week of practices and then a game, so you're running a
Mhm.
brand new set of steel for that game.
Yep.
Okay.
See, Holland
Which, yeah,
switched to a
fresh
three-quarter.
sharpening for that game.
Yeah, Holland switched to a three-quarter, but he's playing in a 40-plus league with me, a B league with me, and an A league. And
Well, so I'll give him this. Ice down south is a lot softer than
Yes.
anywhere else.
Correct. Which
So
is why I
that's
started running something a lot shallower
yeah.
because I was having a hard time being fat and old and slow and like digging in and sinking into the ice.
Mhm,
And then we got a pretty hard freeze down here 2 weeks
mhm.
ago. Got a little bit of snow, which was everybody down here lost their minds when the snow. I had a buddy of ours from I think he's from Maine, plays on one of my teams, and he
Mm.
messaged me. He goes, "This is the first time I've ever been a part of a hockey league that they've canceled the games because it snowed outside." And I said, "Look, it's not our fault. The city shut everything down because the city doesn't know what to do, and our
Yeah.
facility currently is in a city-run building. So yeah,
Yeah.
not cool. But yeah, so what I'm finding is now that I've shallowed the hollow, I've only gotten about 4 to 5 skates out of it, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm missing my edge. Where's it
hey,
gone
got a
to?
breakaway that could really change the game in a
I
beer
fell
league,
down.
and then he falls down. No one around him falls down.
Yep, that's the best way to explain it.
Whether it's accurate or not, yeah, that's what we're sticking with.
Did you have fun in the All-Star game here? Because that was for the people that are listening. That was Savannah's first full season
Mhm.
as the Ghost Pirates, and then they had the
Yep.
All-Star game down here. And your spinorama that you did for the people that like we play hockey with, they loved it. They couldn't stop talking about it, and it was a sick move. Did you have that planned? And how was your experience down here? Because I'm leading up to something else with that.
So I loved it, and yeah, I had a plan out. It's something I've done in roller hockey my whole life. So it was I kind of figured why not do it? I haven't seen many people do it, do things like that in general. So I'm like, why not?
All right. So our Gear Geek fan Zach Sprentz also read that
Huh.
your wife is really likes the Savannah area down here.
Yeah.
Any chance you would go green?
No.
All right. So you want to bring them in? You want to bring
Yeah,
in?
let's go ahead.
All right. So
Go ahead. We got another guest on here. Abdoo's probably got an intro for as well. We're going to bring him
this
in here
this
now.
intro I just came up with. I only had a little bit of time, but our next guest is like trying to get Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster to appear or even call me. I have asked him numerous times to be on the podcast. Apparently, I have to be an ECHL MVP to be on the podcast. I'm going to have his girlfriend change my contact name in his phone to Brandon Hawkins just so he answers me. He has done so much for the Zeros, the GSU, and the GPHL Hockey League attire down here. He is the regional sales manager at BNR Sports. And if you need a sick jersey order, please hit him up. He is a saint for putting up with me and my secretary requests. He is not only a good friend, but if I ever find someone desperate enough to marry me, I will ask this guy to stand up in my wedding, only for him to say, "Oh gosh, you mean you're just asking a female to marry you just to prove me wrong?" Honestly, I can't say enough about this guy. No lie, every time I go back to Chicago, my first stop, even before I see my dad, is BNR Sports just to see this guy. I've played a lot of men's league games with him. About 3 of my top 5 favorite games are with him on the bench or in the penalty box. Hashtag his name is Parker Hoffman. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to introduce to you my very good friend, the man, the myth, the legend, John, my backhand toe drag daddy, Merola. Oh, now he's not even on here.
He's
Merola,
on
where are
there.
you?
He's
You know,
right there.
He's
there,
black
you
on my.
just- You got
I don't know.
you got dollar store Wi-Fi. That's why you can't see him.
I don't know what dial-up you got plugged into that.
It's a. I seriously have a black screen on my end.
It's either
This is- His screen is working. It's you, Abdoo.
Okay,
It's not.
all right. Well, that's fine.
Honestly, I
John,
can both see it.
thank you for being on the podcast. I know ever since we've been doing this podcast, I've asked you, and every time we call, I've asked you. Just like every guest,
I've always said no.
you have.
Took a heavy hitter. I'm glad you found somebody worth getting me out.
Yeah. Just
You
like
may-
every.
You had to leverage your summer league line mate into getting him out here.
I won
John, do you
a year that I get to play with this guy.
We don't lose.
Last time we don't, but last time I said, John, I'm coming up there. You promised to play with me. Yeah, I'll play. And it just so happened every time we played, our game was when he was at Johnny's Ice House. So we ended up.
I'm pretty sure you got
we
kicked
ended
out
up.
of there.
Well,
I got booted for a season, and I was told I had to move up leagues. That was it. I didn't get kicked out. But yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Chelly's a brother of mine, but man, the league here is just not the same.
no, it isn't.
It's been the
Before
same.
we get started, before you say anything, do you
Yeah.
pee in the shower?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
See,
getting older. Sometimes I pee and you fart when you pee. Sometimes it gets a little wet and
yeah, I'm starting to think you're a bird watcher.
if I'm not in the shower, sometimes it's an issue. So I'm in the shower. So if I got to run a bar of soap back there, it's all good.
From Cooch and Rossi and me and all the guys down here, thank you so much for everything you do for us with the jerseys. We really appreciate what you do and the looks that you design and everything. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we can't appreciate you guys enough. So honestly, we owe you guys the thank you. If anything, we're happy to work with you guys. Obviously, you guys have become friends of ours, and anything you do, we love it. So.
Well, that's good because I sent you a jersey order. I sent you a jersey order today. We need it. We need it in like 5 days.
I know I gotta cut that out, but we'll make it work. Well, you got to add like 2 days shipping.
That's fine. That's fine. There's no snow predicted, so it's not going to take another 3 weeks.
We won't have snow.
I got a text from Merola. I got a text from Merola. He's like, the jersey is supposed to be in today, but it says waiting. It was like the peak of the snowstorm. It's like, Jesus, did you guys just get like an avalanche fall on top of you?
Yeah, you had an inch of snow, and apparently UPS trucks drive through an inch of snow.
Not down there.
Gosh.
Dude, we get a blizzard here, and UPS still shows up at 10 a.m. every day.
Yeah. Well, we don't have
You
snow
get a
plows
blizzard
down
down there. You get a blizzard down there, everybody forgets how to drive.
Oh,
Well,
100%.
to be fair, people don't know how to drive, period, whether it's raining, snowing, or just a sunny day. But we don't have salt and we don't have plow trucks, so we don't have a real good way to prep roads. However, the small city outside of Savannah that I live in actually did their due diligence. They've got some tractors because we're kind of like just a little above a little agrarian town, and got salted the roads the night before, and then called Atlanta and got a couple plow trucks down. So I actually had good, clean roads the day after, and all of the stuff could have been running around my neighborhood. It was just literally everywhere else that you couldn't go do anything because everything was covered in ice.
Hawkins, really quick question. What's the deal with peanut butter in your chili?
If I have spicy chili, I like adding peanut butter.
How is that something like what? Like,
How do you
did
give a
just-
guy grief about a burnt steak if you put peanut butter in your chili?
Have you tried it?
No, but what made you? Did you just say, "Hey, I'm going to put peanut butter in this," or did it happen to
No,
accidentally fall?
my
in it?
dad did it. My dad said a long time ago, he goes, growing up, if it was too spicy, you put like a little spoon of peanut butter in it, and it makes it almost like a Thai peanut, little bit of a taste to it. But it's unbelievable. I've never stopped doing it.
So you
Dude,
put a full scoop in it?
I do that.
Like
I'm getting to Merola. I'll get into you in a second. But do you put a full scoop of it, or do you just like
a tablespoon of peanut butter.
and mix it in there?
Yep.
I feel like I'm going to get diarrhea just thinking about it.
You know what? Hey, I'm a little worried. You're talking about peeing. Now you're talking about shitting.
This is the way our podcasts go.
Normal
Well,
conversation.
So then
I don't
Merola.
know if I'm worried about that as much as your interest in it.
Man, I'll tell you what. It's probably a good thing I don't have your phone number because Merola can attest. John Merola is like
good thing.
Merola hates the videos that I send, and I told Merola I got some new videos. He's like,
They're so bad.
"Don't you dare send them to me, or you're going to be paying twice the amount that you should be for stuff." But Merola, I heard that you like ramen and peanut butter. What's like this is stuff Dave Wilson couldn't eat because he's got a peanut allergy.
Well, yeah, that's not my problem.
But how did you do the ramen and peanut butter?
Well, my buddy Brian, who Hawk knows, his
Partial individual.
Yeah.
I hear.
His roommate Ryan was the one who suggested it. It's kind of like a peanut chicken flavor, and I did it. I did it with crunchy peanut butter. Fantastic. I can't eat ramen without it anymore.
I'm gonna have
Really?
to try this now.
It's good, and it makes it a little creamier too. I always throw like a scoop and a half, like a big generous scoop of crunchy peanut butter in a ramen. Liz hates it, but I know about it. It's the only way I can eat ramen now.
I don't
Holland, we
like
gotta
ramen.
try.
My girls like ramen. Maybe I'll see if they'll try it and see how that goes.
If
None
you
of
like-
this sounds very appealing to me.
Like, I know Abdoo only uses peanut butter for one reason, and it's more dog and not food related. But
His dog's really small, so he doesn't have to use a lot of peanut butter, so he'll have some left over.
Or maybe he does it just for his
Oh,
own
great! I'm
liking.
gonna get PETA knocking at my door now. Thing like,
Hey, if you heard the intro, his macaroni noodle he's working with.
Jesus.
He could use a. I don't know my measuring sizes very well, but what are the little tiny, like a quarter teaspoon of peanut butter? You could make a regular sized peanut butter jar go a really long ways, my guy.
I feel like my unit's the same measurement as Hawkins skate sharpening. On a good
After
day.
talking to you, it's definitely less than that.
Ground.
I'm a 5/8 guy. Are you going to be playing in the 3 ice again this summer?
I don't know if 3 Ace is coming back.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
did
I've
you
heard things about it.
did you enjoy playing in it?
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
It
Best summer
looks-
job I've ever had.
I guess.
What'd you say?
For the best summer job I've ever had.
I mean, it looks like a lot of fun, but I couldn't. I didn't watch it enough to know the rules and the point system and the colored lines and stuff like that. So
I mean, it was normal. It was just like penalties equal penalty shots. You ice the puck, it's a penalty shot. That was kind of really the only difference. If you if you score, you got to vacate outside the big 3-point line, and then you can come back. So it was different. It had a good thing to it. I don't know if it just.
I
fizzled
hope
out
it
or
comes
what.
back because it was good to watch during the summertime when it was on.
That was
Yeah.
fun watching her in the summer for sure.
They should
Didn't the
put
penalty
pro roller
shot?
hockey on so we can show you what really goes on.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I've been getting tons of clips from maybe Instagram's been showing them to me of all the old pro beach hockey stuff, the
Yeah.
pro roller stuff with like the half pipe looking stuff
Yeah.
behind the nets and all those guys
PVH,
were
yeah.
wild. Yeah, those guys, that was nuts.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. The old, what were those things called? V-form
was-
skates. Those things were
Yep, I was
awful.
born too late.
No, I'm old, so that was right in my wheelhouse. We had a kid that skated with us in our league that had some of those V-form skates, and he's like, "Oh, you can turn so fast." And I was like, "Yeah, but your top speed's like me walking backwards. Like those things are terrible. Like
Yeah.
you might as well just run around the rink if you're going to skate in those. They're awful.
Yeah, because those
Oh,
are
those are
fucking
brutal.
cinder blocks on your feet.
They were, and you had every other wheel was like angled backwards, so there was no glide in those things whatsoever. You stopped moving, you just stopped. Oh, terrible. Yeah, didn't the 3 Ice have something in there for your penalty shots where once you reached a certain point, everybody else could come after you or something like that? So you
The
couldn't take a
second you
forever
touch-
penalty shot.
The second you touch the puck, they're allowed to chase you from the blue line behind you.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So everything was designed in 3 Ice to basically speed up the pace of play.
Correct.
Yeah. That was fun. It was neat watching. It was interesting, some of the guys that were on there, because it was all over the map. The guys that you had some pro guys from a bunch of different levels. You had guys that I don't think were pros at all that were playing. So it's definitely an interesting makeup of guys playing for sure. Fun to
Yeah.
watch.
It was good though. So I'm not gonna complain. It was fun.
Yeah. Sorry, my dogs have decided to start doing weird things outside. I apologize.
I'm just
You're
in
good.
awe that
Mine
Merola.
are too.
I'm just in awe that Merola's on the podcast after we've been doing this for almost a year now, and every time I talk to him, I get on. So I'm.
Dan Benet at this point.
I told
Earlier today.
I told Holland about that. So
As it canceled, I'm like, all right, fine, maybe I will. And get my
Gosh, that's funny.
how's Johnny's Ice treating you? I've only gotten a few backhand toeies from you. So,
Dude, it's I mean, we play like once every 2 weeks. So, like, I'm not on the ice as much. Uh, I don't know. I got bored with running the backhand always. It wasn't working for me the way I wanted it to. So I sent one the other day. The puck skipped my stick on the way to the net, and I was like, "Fuck! I'm just so tired of this."
I was trying to explain to Holland and our listeners how good Johnny's Ice House is. Can you, since you play there regularly, can you give them a little bit more insight of how good the hockey is? Because when I say it, it's just like, it's like, oh wow, they're really good. I don't belong there. It's the best way that I can describe it, but I don't belong anywhere.
I mean, they have really good, adult league. The programs run really well. The culture is probably the best part. I mean, people on other teams, you guys kind of mingle in the bar. So it's obviously fun, but depending on the league, I mean, there's so many teams, there's so many leagues. Like, I think there's like 15 teams in our league, which is great. Compared to other leagues that have like 4 teams, there's so much animosity built up every time you play the same team every other week. But I mean, it's good depending on the league you're in. I think our team, we have like 2 or 3 ex-NCAA guys. Everyone else has played either club or junior, so it's good if you're in the higher league.
And a younger bunch, right? Like in their 20s, 30s.
For the most part, they run an over 40 league, so some of those guys leave. But I mean, we have guys in the league that are over 40 that are still great players. I mean, they're a little slower, but they can wire a puck, and they're smart to play against too. So
the opposite of you, yeah.
What's that?
The opposite of Yabs.
Yeah.
I'm trash. I'm really bad, but I got a bad hip. I'm supposed to be getting a hip replacement this year, but I'm refusing to.
Yeah, I don't know how many people that's ever helped.
Well, who's the guy that he's had 2 hip replacements and he still plays?
Oh, Tony.
Yes.
Tony's, yeah, that guy. That's what I want to be when I'm his age. Like 2 hips.
Yes, you said the same thing too, Abdoo.
No visor. The guy just like blocks shots. He's unbelievable. He's such a good player
and he's had 2 hip replacements.
Two fake hips.
And he's fucked.
Tony's the greatest guys and obviously a hell of a player for what he's gone through. But yeah, that would be. I don't know if you're catching up to him even with one good hip.
Yeah, well, I was told by my doctor that I met with. He's like, yeah, once you get your hip replacement, there's no way you can play. Another friend of mine got a hip replacement, and he just took a turn, crossed over to the right, and it went right out of socket. It sent me the X-ray. It's pretty gruesome. I don't know if I want to risk it. But that's.
I told him full send. Like, you only live once. What's the worst that could happen, right? Mm-hmm. Just get that guy replaced again.
Yeah, you get another hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. One of my biggest fears of getting a hip replacement, and this goes back to my duty and pee fetish, I guess. A lot of people that I talked to, they said that they can't wipe for like the first month after getting a hip replacement.
I don't know where that. Get a bidet, buddy.
That's what everyone said. Get a bidet.
Everyone's like, get a bidet. There, you can get the little toilet, like in-seat bidets. They're not that big of a deal.
I don't know. I just feel like
you can even get them with like a little battery-operated heater.
Look, so I see what comes out of me. I feel like I'm gonna need like a fire hose, like I'm gonna have to connect it to the fire hydrant and just get a full blast. And at that point, I'm sure it's gonna take like layers of skin off, and so. I don't know if it's worth it, and I don't want to. Abdoo's
going to go from never having peed in the shower to getting on the podcast and being like, now I pee and poop in the shower because it's the only place I can get clean. Yeah, I can see where this is headed already. And I don't think that's entirely true at all. My dad had his hip redone like a year ago, and he never said anything about having toilet issues.
Well, ask him tomorrow. Ask him, hey, did you have a problem?
He would have said like, oh, yeah,
my uncle said, yeah, he got a bidet. He got his hip replaced last year. Yeah. So I don't know. It
seems crazy.
And plus, with the water down here in the South, like I'm gonna get some kind of infection. I'm gonna get like hemorrhoids, and then like hemorrhoids on top of hemorrhoids. I've never had hemorrhoids. I don't even want that. So
just eat mini for that period of time. Just load up on fiber. You don't even need to wipe.
I'll drink. What was that? I sent Holland.
Metamucil.
Yeah, I'll
Metamucil
drink a
and the
whole thing
fiber
of
drink.
Metamucil. Yeah,
Or
and
just
I'll
a get out of yourself and don't even poop.
He can probably do that too.
Hawkins,
That's miserable.
what's your biggest injury that you've had? Have you had a big injury that sidelined you for a while?
Yeah, I missed 20 games my first year in Toledo. I dislocated my wrist, tore every ligament that's in there.
Oh,
It was millimeters away from having to do a fusion.
wow.
So I got lucky.
And what happened?
This guy did that his first game too. I had just bought Flow Hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, first game, third shift.
First shift in Kalamazoo, and like he kind of took a hit, and it wasn't even a big hit. And I
made a play and got hip checked at the same time.
Straight to the bench, and I was like, "Oh man, this guy's injured." And then he was out for 20 games. I'm like, "What am I supposed to watch now?"
Like, hey, give me some of your contract money. I just spent $100.
Send him an invoice.
Like, shit. And this guy's sitting out for 20 games.
I came back and scored 35.
I know you had a hot season too, right after that. And it was worth the Flow subscription, but the letdown after watching. Never got to watch any college. At least finally, like Flow with or internet, however you want to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Excited to watch boy play since I can't, getting out to Fort Wayne or Toledo or Wheeling never could make happen. But
now you can come to Bloomington.
Yeah. Bloomington's such a shitty town.
Oh, the place sucks.
And honestly, every weekend you've played there, like I've been out of town. Like,
I don't blame you for not coming.
Well, now we got to watch the dog. It's not as easy to move. So trying to get down there for a 90-minute drive to watch a 90-minute game.
The Walleye have a pretty good fan base. You guys like pretty much pack. Are they sellouts every
night?
Yeah, you guys got a great fan base. Amazing. So, do they sell out here for the Ghost Pirates, Holland? Do you know?
They've been a sellout now. I don't know whether they're actually packed out, but they've advertised as being sold out for quite a while now. I think they sold out every game their very first season, so they were really proud of that. I think they were saying they were the first in the ACHL to do something.
Yeah, that's that's the only hockey there is really down here, though. Within a good,
but people here are like super hockey illiterate. It's almost like gouge your eyes out and ears out to go like watch and play. Or to watch it. I've sat and we've got some friends that have gotten some tickets that sit behind the opposing team's goalie for the first and third period. And I don't know, they got some catchy name for it that's pirate related or something. I don't know what it is. But the number of like hockey ignorant statements that are made like per hockey play is astronomical. It's absurd. My parents went with me. My 10-year-old son is doing some travel stuff now with a local junior program here, and they did like a thing where they honored him one night or whatever. So we sat in this area with my parents, and my dad kept looking at me because I grew up playing. So my dad's been around it with me forever, and he was like, "There are a lot of really stupid people here." And I said, "I know. I want to get my kid on the ice, let him say, 'Hey, congratulations,' then I'm just going to get out of here. Like I don't want to be here much longer." So. Dumb fans, a lot of dumb fans, unfortunately, here in Savannah, but loyal fans, surprisingly enough.
Brandon, I also read that you spent some time in the AHL.
Yeah.
How did that go? Like, how long did you spend in the A, and what teams did you play for? I saw that it was like Chicago, the Rochester.
Yep, I've played 20 games in the American League. Split between Cleveland, Chicago, the Rochester Americans, and the Wilkes-Barre Penguins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw that.
Are any of those affiliates with Toledo, or are those individual?
No, those are all individual.
So Toledo is with the Red Wings, correct?
Yeah, Grand Rapids.
All right. Merola's team.
What's that experience like? Is that something where you get a call to come jump up with those guys, and then is it on a short-term basis, long-term basis, or
usually it's short-term, and they'll give you a call and be like, "Hey, we need you for a weekend," type thing.
Gotcha.
And you never know what role you're playing. think half the time I've gone up there, I played maybe 3 minutes and chip pucks and block shots, and then get sent back down to play my normal role in Toledo.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Chicago was wild. I loved when you were up here because I got to go to
Oh,
I would leave, at will call. So I think I went to like 5 or 6 Wolves games in
yeah,
like a. You guys played. Who was it? Iowa was in town, and they were beating the Bills off Chicago, and I think Hawkins played like maybe 6 shifts, and it's like the middle of the third period, and there's like back-to-back power play in Chicago, and like they can't get anything on net. They couldn't put a puck into the zone. Like it was miserable, and I'm watching this guy, sit on the bench, and Brandon, if you've ever watched him play, is one of the hardest shots I think ever. He'd probably give some NHL guys a run in like a hardest shot competition. But he's an absolute power play specialist, and it was like getting frustrating watching Chicago not do anything on their back-to-back power plays, and he's sitting on the bench. And it was like, just throw him on unit 1, put him in Obi's office, and like he'll score. Like I guarantee it. But kind of just watched him rot away. Wasn't exciting, but it was good to have him in town here at least, and get to go watch 7 shifts a night.
hey, we got the golf while I was there. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I was about to ask
Got one round in.
Merola, who's the better golfer?
Well, going into the show, I heard it was him, but I was just letting him win.
Yeah.
Is there any skin in the game on that? Are you playing for anything, or do you just?
No, actually, he'd kick the shit out of me, and I can't tell him that. His head already doesn't fit in a large helmet, so I didn't.
Yeah, you're right. It fits in a medium.
Warrior, they labeled as medium. Me and his wife don't believe he wears a medium. There's no way.
I got it. It's right. It's right behind me. You want me to get it?
They put M on it.
That's a W. You're looking at the helmet upside down.
Yeah, it's Wumbo.
Yeah, so that's why they gave me a Warrior deal, huh? Just for the big helmet.
Big helmet for the biggest W on the front.
Oh no! You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, did he freeze?
He just froze.
Oh,
He froze.
He's on
Uh-oh.
dial-up connection now.
Oh, there he
he's
is.
back.
See, it's not just me now. It's
I
not
mean, it
just
is.
me.
He looked like he was moving around his house, so he stepped away from the good signal.
Is he still frozen?
He kind of. I feel like I'm watching a Blair Witch. He's back now. Yeah, no.
Oh,
we're good.
okay.
His
See,
wife
not just me.
interrupted by his extra large helmet.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, so Hawkins, I got a quick question for you, and then we'll end the podcast in a few. You got your 4 line mates, and you want to pick. You got to pick one more. You're either picking Merola or Wilkie. Who you picking?
Merola. Fuck.
And then
I played in a game with Merola and Wilkie at all seasons. I told this story before. This is my favorite game I've ever played on. We were winning like by an outrageous amount, and I go, Wilkie, when Merola has the puck, I want you to just pin him against the boards, or if he's skating on a break, if he's skating with the puck, I want you to take the puck away from him and just score. And Merola had no idea what was going on, skating with the puck, and next thing you know, Wilkie just takes the puck from him and scores. And then he pinned him against the boards. He goes, Merola was so irritated. He's like, that wasn't even a pivotal point in the game. It just made no sense. And I'm like, it's not supposed to make sense.
dude,
Do you remember that, Merola?
Jeremy, I was trying to set you up for like an easy backdoor tap, and I think you're the only guy that have a goal yet.
Makes sense.
The other guy,
Even Jim Casper even had like 5 goals, right? And one of them was a spinorama.
fucking Wilkie's like humping me behind the net, and I'm like, wait. Why is it dark?
That was my most fun game that I've ever played in beer league. So,
The dogs are freaking out here for some reason.
all right, well, we can
All right,
we
I'm
can
just
let you.
letting them back I probably got to go here in a couple minutes.
All right, yeah, we can end it now, boys. Hawkins, thank you so much for doing this with us, and Merola, thank you so much for being on the podcast and getting Hawkins on the show. So
Hey, it's not a problem, guys. Thanks for having me on. Sorry,
I'd love to
I
have
cut a
you
little
on again
short on you.
sometime. No, it's all right.
Oh, we
Let's
can do
All
that.
good. No,
we'll do
absolutely.
it again. If you want to reenact one of our intros, I can send you down the red thong. We need some ratings. We need some ratings. So
Jesus Christmas.
again,
gosh.
you guys, thank you so much for doing this, Merola. Thank you, and for those jerseys, just have them get sent to me, and then I'll give them to the guys. And
Yeah, well,
you guys, thank you so much.
Oh, no,
Guys,
not a
thanks a
problem.
lot. We appreciate you, boys.
Appreciate you
Hawkins,
guys.
good luck
See
in
you,
the
boys.
in the rest of the season. Merola, good luck at Johnny's.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, we will see you guys.
See you guys. Thanks
right.
again. Bye.
That was a fun podcast. That was a fun one. So,
Oh, get out of this mode here. Oh,
right.
boy. All right, Merola's gone. Hawkins is probably going to be gone in just a
did
second.
they both
so-
bump out?
No, Merola did. Yeah, we'll go quick. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate the heck out of you. We didn't say it earlier, but if you enjoy what you heard, if you've laughed, if you've cried, if you've shaken your head and said, why am I listening to this? Hit the like, subscribe button, follow us on all the social medias. Abdoo's reimagination of his youth on TikTok. Follow him there or us there because he loves it so much.
Or look me up on OnlyFans. We could use the money for the podcast.
Yeah. The poop and pee guy at onlyfans.com.
Yeah, it's ab poop and pee.
Oh man. So
right.
love you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.